All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we are live here at Lanes Raceway right at 5:30 when we want to start the race. About 10 minutes still, but we already got the racers in. We got 3 ghosts running to help track marshal. Those that are on deck, of course, the same as always. There'll be the one track call button. The track call button must stay tied to the seat. That way that they can keep their hands free and not be more apt to hit the track call button. Today's racers are Guillermo Sire, David Horton, Jay Latham, Bruce Bullington, Tom Payton, Randy Kirtley, Glenn Burden, and Paul Woosley. So exciting race is fixing to take place here. We got glue on several points of the track, so a little different this week. We got glue here, 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 got glue here. This track is super much, and that's just to help keep everybody on. So please stay with us, and we'll leave you with the current standings here right now, and we'll be right back with you just as soon as we get the race up and rolling. Mike's live.
No, he's not.
got to start the race with the body that you start with. You got to finish the race. Or yeah, you got to finish the race.
So our backup cars, the backup cars don't need a body.
Oh, don't need? Well, mine has one. And you cannot tell the difference with my car, the car racing. So,
Well, I was confused. You know, you're saying this backup car,
yeah, it's the whole car.
so you're gonna have to take the body off your primary car if it gets destroyed or the motor blows up or whatever,
Yeah,
and then take the body and put it on the other car.
yeah, really. If it's a backup car.
Yeah, that's the main. That is the main rule in this race. Some people start out or running 25 different spots. They're going to have to suffer. But there's other guys that continue to miss. But that bottom will hang in there. So yeah, your backup car is essentially just to. It's a chassis essentially, a ready to run car without a body. You got to put your other body back on to finish the race. All right, folks, here we are. As you can tell, we got the racers out there. All right, racers, take your marks. Track marshal, take your spots. Lynn Burden, you'll be on the button. All right, here we go, racers. Watch your lights. Go. You know the routine, 4 red lights, drop out and into green, and we're going to be going racing. Jay Latham out in the lead there, first lap there. Glenn Burden quickly getting the car put back on in the donut. Jay Latham and Bruce Bullington involved in the incident there. Glenn standing in almost a perfect position where he's located. On that button there is there was a car up underneath the bridge. That's what we want if we hear a racer say bridge, you know, that button, as they can see the car on the other side of the bridge. Good job there. Got a stalled car there on orange. David Horton's car there. Possible braid issue. Back on. Brushes were a little low, I would suspect. Shortly there, getting another car put back on. Jeremy Sire out in the lead, 15 total laps so far there on green lane. 4 minutes left to go. Followed by Tom Payton there. Off on the bridge. Probably going to take about a heat or so to get the blue ran into track a little bit forward so that cars don't initiate a initial complete stop for the part. Jay Latham's car there coming off in the S turn. They're in the lead. It looks like they're Bowling, mixing it up down low there on yellow. A couple cars past him there. Bruce Bullington coming off on the back stretch, starting hit the button. Jeremy Sire out in the lead, 25 total laps there on Green Lane, followed by Tom Payton at 4 laps. Guillermo and Jay Latham about the same speed on the back stretch and front stretch there as they roll under. Jay Latham there, the baby car. The orange car of Guillermo there. Randy Curley getting the car slapped back in there pretty quick. I believe Tom Payton's car there around the donut. A few issues there for the guys going through the donut, it seems like. But nonetheless, pretty fluid racing so far here. 2 minutes 56 left to go. Guillermo Sire out in the lead for 35 laps. The best lap of 4.02, followed by Tom Payton of 4.04. Everybody in 3 seconds here. Oh, get 2 cars involved in there. Purple car of Tom Payton, yellow car of Bullington. There in the horseshoe portion of the track. David Horton there on orange lane driving the Hardy Corvette. Coming here earlier, we were talking about his car and everything. How well it handles. And he's running a Gemini also. A lot of the guys off of the Gemini chassis Orient Series. Coming up next week, an exciting race to take place. Hope you guys are excited for it. Of course, y'all don't know nothing about it, but I guess I'll let you know. But next week is our specialty race about midway through. It's actually this week, but I forgot about it. So nonetheless, it's going to be next week. We're going to celebrate our midway race. But don't worry if you can't make it. I'll make up for you to make it. But if you can make it, you've got 2 opportunities to run your car without weight. So all these cars have to match weight of 105 grams. On those 2 days, Thursday and Sunday of next week, we are going to allow the guys to run their cars without weight. So we'll see how many more laps they can turn. Now, the side effect of that is if they run both races, they only get to keep 1. But if they run better on one of the races, they get to keep it. So definitely stay tuned for that. Randy Curley there quickly getting the car put back online there. Jay Latham getting a little bit of a love nudge there, knocking him in fire. Minute 27 seconds. Guillermo Sire on for lap leader, followed by Tom Payton with 7 laps and Jay Latham 2. Tom Payton there quickly grabbing his roller. You see him there on purple. Last series, we had a specialty race where the guys ran in first. I don't know if you guys are calling that, but, you know, they ran a lot less laps. So I thought, well, you know, we ran less laps the last special race. What can we do to make the guys run a couple more laps, maybe give them a little more of an incentive to come and race? And I said, well, we'll just take the weight out. So a lot of these guys are packing a lot of weight on the cars. It'd be pretty cool to see how well they turn out. Some of the guys really been wanting to stretch their legs with some of the Mazzetti chassis, stuff like that. Could give them a little bit of a boost in or that they can end up final. But relatively speaking, all of the guys are within 10 or 15 grams of each other, no matter how light they go. So I don't think it's going to be as big of a drastic change as one might think. Plus, it gives me a lot of information to see whether or not could run multiple class laser cut chassis, flexi chassis in the future without having to wait. The headache of weight is that I got to come in on these guys every once in a while, make sure they keep them weight. At the end of it, weigh them in. Before the race, weigh them in. And if they're running close enough that it's not like a super advantage, because the lighter you are, do accelerate quick, bar faster top speed point, and you brake quick. But a lot of the times I find that the lighter the cars are, at least for slot cars, the worse they handle, in my opinion. Like they just bite in the nose. So then you end up having to add weight to the nose down, and by then you've done added the weight back. So it's kind of a coin toss. Plus, if you put a lot of weight there in the rear, another thing, you to those tires packed in good and help them grip around the track. Jeremy Sire out in the lead there, 85 total laps, followed by Tom Payton with 82, Jay Latham 75, David Horton 73, and Bruce Bullington 72. Pretty tight-knit racing there at the bottom half there. Jay Latham, David Horton in the 70. A little bit of a battle happening there up top, 3 laps difference to Guillermo, Payton. Guys here with the current pinball scores. Be right back with you in just a moment.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds. Get ready.
All right, folks, 4 lights going to drop out. We're going green. Back at it again. Track marshal now on deck. Randy Kirtley, he'll be on the button as he quickly gets Glenn Burden put on red. Glenn Burden just now coming back in as he rounds about the S-turns. Did a little bit of chassis work on Glenn's car this week. Got him floating back nice and flat. I had to take it apart. Folks, I probably spent a good 3-4 hours on Glenn Burden's car this week. A lot of wrecks taking place. Put the car, Jay Latham.
Get ready.
Jay Latham. Okay. Get a track call there. Burden's car coming off there through the high bank portion of the track. Don't forget to flip, ladies and gentlemen. Flip here. See it on your screen there. Tom Payton, about where he's at. If you don't flip there on red, white, and green, about in this area, sometimes your car comes off, especially if it's motivating and moving pretty quick. A lot of the times it doesn't want to settle back down. Some of the guys often bigger hubs too. Bigger hub tires do not like heave elevation change as much as the thicker tired, smaller hub tires. There's a trade-off for everything, I suppose, but if you got small hubs, big tires, you know, you go over elevation changes a lot better because you got more cushion on that tire. It's more like a shock. Whereas big hubs have less. I think some of the guys are running hubs, possibly hurting themselves there on red. Now this will be a big factor. Only I would red, white, and green, and possibly black and purple, as there are dip elevations. But from green, yellow, about right here, it's pretty smooth. So there's not a whole lot of elevation change that takes place. Right now, Guillermo Sire out in the 110. He's kind of walking a little bit from Tom Payton. Tom Payton possibly not pushing as far as hard for donut portion. But just like I always tell you guys, don't let that discourage you or get you down. Anything can change in a race for sure. Randy Kirtley quickly, David Horton put back on white there in the horseshoe. But don't let it get you down simply because, you know, if you keep your car on, that means so much more than being the fastest racer out there because, like I was telling Tom Payton and quick hands Randy Kirtley, Jay and David Horton put back on. But yeah, don't let it get you down. Here's why, because I was telling Tom Payton, Paul Woosley was running with Randy Kirtley Thursday night, so tight and so close. They were literally 1,000-second different top speeds of cars, their lap times. But what was the difference? The difference is, you know, having that resolve is keeping the car on. Sometimes, you know, learning those faster lanes is nice and everything, but being able to keep it on is a whole lot because you're not losing full lap. Full lap is 3.6 something seconds on average. Some of the guys, yeah, they can get her down to 3.3, 3.2, but on average, it's around the 3.5, 3.6 area is what the majority of people run. We got a break out there on white lane, so like Glenn Burton's gonna have to move his car behind the line there. But yeah, with those averages, you got to think of it like this: that my car comes off, I automatically lose 3 seconds worth of time. So if Randy and Paul were thousandths of a second different each lap, you would have to run 3,000 laps before that to take place. So let that kind of sink in. That's what we're talking mathematically. 3,000 laps staying on for Randy to pass you. So, you know, that's a big deal. Car on instead of running fast. Better off, you know, even a tenth of a second, 30, 40 laps, that is required for Randy to stay on before he. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, that Pepsi's good, by the way. Keep your car on the track. That's the most important thing. Keep your car on the track, run decent laps, and won't have to worry so much about losing speed that much. Almost kind of get that perfect speed rhythm going down to where that your car's staying on, and let's say you're about a tenth, maybe 2/10 of a second slower on a lap than the majority of people running. You can wait on them to wreck because now they're pushing their car to get that extra couple seconds. You're not. You're more comfortable. So, you know, yeah, they wreck, boom, you're right there back with them. You were a full lap down, but they wreck, and now you're back there with them. And then it takes them another 20 or 30 laps to be able to wreck again. Well, boom, you're right back there with them because you're running a lap that keeps you in the comfort zone where you don't wreck. And then I guess what boils down from that point to what could cause you to have accidents is just simply if somebody else is wrecking. Then you got to watch out for them. But by no means am I telling you to be slower. I'm just saying run what's comfortable for you and then slowly increase that comfortability until you're into what you really, that really comfort zone of racing. Guillermo Sire now 165, running 80 total laps so far this heat. To 73, 90. We can take a look at these guys. Guillermo Sire running a 0.42 on the lower side of the spectrum. To Tom's more of an average 7, and running in second. So, folks, yeah, I mean, granted, if you're not running fast times, you're probably not going to be running for first place. But Tom Payton's actually running to try to get first place. But it's going to require Guillermo Sire to have some wrecks. But like I said, can't win day one in racing. Progression of your skill and your continuity, I guess you would say, or constitution, be able to keep the car on. As we can take a look here, only 6 laps per heat on average, what separates first from second. Only 6 laps, folks. So, you know, how many times did Tom get in there on black? Well, I'm probably got in a couple. 70 laps versus 82 purple. These not that much different, but could, you know, maybe slowing it down just a bit, maybe have helped him. Probably could have. But, you know, all this stuff's left up to speculation. I will tell you this. This is common knowledge out there for those who know the most cause of accidents on the road is speeding. So it kind of sinks in the head. You know, our bodies, our minds, stuff like that are not really meant to go as fast as cars are not reflective minded. You know, on average, you know, it's above a half of a second, or I think it's half of a second before somebody actually acts. That's on average. Like, there are some people out there that quarter of a second, eighth of a second, but those people are very rare. Most of the time, they train that portion of the body, whether race, whatever. You know, I would say the majority of our guys here, I would give them the credit to say that they're about a quarter of a second. But when your car's running 60 mile an hour on less than track, math, folks, there's a lot of ways that take place there. Thank you. What are you comfortable with? Now, start out real slow. You too slow to the cars don't want to haul garbage. But then you too fast. You don't have enough time to correct the car. You want to kind of go just a little bit above mediocrity, I guess you say, car to get in a nice flow state there, or what we call it back in the day, get in the zone. Not autos. Get in the zone there for have that back end slide out just perfect to go. But I've noticed people with the Falco controllers starting to change my mind since I've messed with Paul Woosley's controller there. Got a 281 Pro, and my mind's starting to change a little bit, folks. I've been running a Ruddick for the longest time, probably since 2000, and I'll tell you, I love that controller. But I was racing 281 Pro, and I just could not keep up with it. And so I wanted to see exactly what about it. He said, well, my car. So I did, and I put it up on the track, and I ran. And something that I found out was that how smooth the donut portion of the track while laying the trigger down. And really can. Wants to grip and set, and not so micro movement like it is with Ruddick. I mean, you're talking trigger that versus my Ruddick like this, kind of tapping. And just that little bit of smooth ability, I guess, makes it smooth with gas turns, force shooting, everything quicker. And then I understood. I was like, reason pay big bucks for controllers, because they do out the process. Jay Latham's car coming off there in the high bank. Yep. Beautiful body there. That's a Lola body with Gulf paint job, kind of like 19 Gulf cars. That's made by JK Products. Check out their stuff at JK Products. Actually order that body directly from JK. So, but we would prefer if you come in here and let us order it for you. Get back to your local hobby shop. Get back to your local track. That's what keeps them in business. Yeah, we love having these guys have these big races. I want to keep pushing it forward for these guys, make them as happy as we can. And I can see right now a lot of these guys up a lot better. A lot of red happening. Oh, shoulder. Try to get started. Currently, right now, I believe we got 2 track marks. David Horton and Paul Wood. That was rough on Paul. Heck. Dedication to our racers out here. Filling these guys back online. That's what that track calls buttons for too. And guys wreck that deep under the track. Could you imagine trying to put that on live? Talk about your fingernails peeled back. Trust me, folks. First open, we tried to do it. And I'll tell you, talk about fingernails back. People do not slow down just because your neck's up under that roof. They will hit you. It will peel fingernail. Peyton there on yellow right next to Jay Latham there on black coming around the donut. Right call button hit. Lynn Bird and Bruce Bulletin get up an altercation. Guillermo Sire still your leader there on purple lane. So look there on him as he comes to pass Tom Payton there on the inside. He makes a good pass around the donut. Car quite quick there as we can tell. He gets tossed through the S-turns there. We saw Woosley put Guillermo Sire back on, but man, he was getting tossed like a rag doll. It's like a wreck from the 90s. A little lizard crossing, gentlemen. But like I said, Guillermo Sire's car very, very fast. He's lap leader. Nope, actually Randy Kirtley is, followed by Glenn Burton. Then Randy Kirtley, favorite lane. Loves the red lane. Best at it. I've seen several different tracks in my day, and I'll tell you what, track that he was an owner-operator of a American Blue King, kids in the 90s. That's where he got most. Before that, he actually ran in Island, Kentucky, right across the bridge from Livermore, on the orange track there. You know, Randy Kirtley, they're very much vested in stock car racing. Also ran there in several places there whenever I was in. Also, we ran 1,000 Plot City by Dell and Greg Clintock. We had a blast. We run FCRs, basically what our rookie classes run. That's what we ran back in the day. Of course, the motors have came a long way. Back in the day, it was like save up your Christmas money because you're going to need it. You know, we were burning at least 1 or 2 motors every time we raced back in the day. Now the motors, they hold up a lot better than they did. They can breathe better, not sealed like they are metal sealed. Now they're F-type motors. Guillermo Sire coming out. Randy Kirtley involved in him a little bit, but was able to move on through. They're on black lane. Take a look at Randy Kirtley come around this horseshoe. Look how quick he in the throttle here through the horseshoe. Comes around the S-turn. And I'll tell you what, here he comes again through the S-turn around the horseshoe. Just as quick sometimes as some people down on black and purple, where they have a lot less they have to deal with. But I'll tell you, these guys are quick, folks. Right there on the inside of him, got Bruce Bullington car doing well, and I believe Bruce Bullington tonight has opted to change out for a Falcon 7 with a gear ratio 32-15. Of course, I'd let him know that the Falcon, for the most part, probably won't keep up with the guys on a hyper gear on. But it is a little bit more of a reliable style motor. I got one in my car from whenever I ran 4-inch cars down in the basement. I ran it for 3 or 4 years. That thing just set hot as dickens. But I'll tell you what, folks, hot as it gets, it still just hangs it. Know what kind of resin they use on that motor, and and the motors tend to not go bad on it. It looks like just from watching the car, definitely running there with everybody. 0.44 was the best lap. You know, the highest lap was Bruce Bullington there on white lane. Sorry, I'm down here watching purple lane. But there on white lane, 3.759 white. A lot of the guys have issues coming around the donut portion of the track on smaller lanes there. But I'm really interested what it is run on average some of the lower lanes there. And in the first guy this year or this season to actually choose Falcon. So of course a lot of people in the spot community, well, it's not nowhere power Hawk 7. It isn't. No, and to run we've done it. Matter. I believe Falcon motors are quite a bit more. Flag rotation. 11. by taking a look at that white lane, not too suffered quite a bit of wrecks. He's right there on par with David Horton. David Horton running. Like I said, if you hear him just right, you're right there with else. But you get that extra added amount. I do know David Horton's running Gemini with. That's pretty good. I also see 72 next to Tom's 80. Tom, skill-wise, Tom is on fire here as of late. Just took him a 6 after he came off vacation. He's 8. Now some of these guys are 80. Up here, start seeing Kirtley try to put 82. Possibly Paul Wood, not yet been trying to put those upper 2. Kind of funny, like Randy Kirtley, sometimes Guillermo, they're kind of in the same pot. Gabriel Kirtley, where they kind of run about laps more than, let's say, Paul Wood, sometimes converted, Tom Payton. They kind of run, start seeing these guys battle. So get a top group, a lower group, always battle each other. That's just a part of growing up, whatever track it is. Guys over here with the current standings as of today, July the 13th. July the 13th. Take a look at that. We'll be right back with you.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
All right, folks, 5 seconds. Lights again. They're going to be busting on out. 4 red lights drop to. You can now see that got a Go 3 on deck. So we're going to have David Horton. He's going to be on the button next couple. Bruce Williamson now. He's setting out. He's come out last year. Paul Woosley going in. He's bringing his first run-ins right now. So far, so good. We now see a change there. Guillermo Sire there now on black lane, running 200 laps. Peyton right there with him, right at 249 there on orange. Jay Latham, 231 there on yellow. Get several cars coming off here. Several of them get put back on. Paul Woosley getting put back on there on red. Paul Woosley running a new body there on red. We painted that up here at Lanes Raceway. That's actually a tricolor body there. Pink, purple, and ultraviolet blue. Jay Latham coming off in the S-turns there on yellow. Growl, Godzilla. We can just see here from the bottom portion of your screen here, we can see how close these guys are running on the straight stretch. It's almost like everybody is geared for top speed. Nobody's giving an inch. But what it all boils down to is dead man's corner. How deep you drive it, how much we risk without going up under that corner. Risk a bunch and gain them. As we see Paul Woods there ripping it through red lane there. He dive bombs that red lane, folks. Every time I see him race, he keeps getting better and better. And he's been pushing hard the past couple of weeks to get his car on par. He's been telling us in secret. He won't tell you on the microphone. I know you guys know that, but in secret.
Welcome, my name is Abraham, and here I'm gonna explain to you pinball skills in depth. Aiming and shooting, the base. Drop catch. The variability of the drop catch makes it applicable in many situations, resulting in one of the most powerful skills in pinball. A drop catch is used to gain ball control and set up a safe shot. Raise the flipper as the ball approaches it and let it drop again at the exact instant the ball makes contact. If the ball approaches at the right angle, you should prefer drop catches over shots on the fly, because with shots on the fly, your shot range from left to right is decreased and you do not have the same level of ball control. Typically you can catch returning balls from failed shots, scoops, balls bouncing back from various targets or even from ski passes. You can catch balls from nearly any direction as long as it heads towards the middle or the base of the flipper. Otherwise, the ball won't get enough counterspin to rest on the flipper. Drop catches also can be done with the upper flipper. After a good catch, the ball will rest on the flipper for a moment. The timing for the upcoming shot changes drastically, and you have to counteract by shooting later than usual. Delayed drop catch. Drop the flipper a split second later than usual, and the ball will roll up the flipper back into the inlane. That comes in handy since you want to be able to use the whole flipper's range for your upcoming shot. Watch out as the ball turns.
There we go. All right, sorry about the mic cutting out there, but it happens sometimes. I don't know how long that's been happening, but I just happened to look down here at the bottom of my screen and notice that my mic was fully lit. Guillermo Sire still currently your leader, but Tom Payton putting up a fight here, 28-7. That's how many laps have been turned so far this heat. Round robin 5 of 11. After the heat, of course, we are going to call the guys and in here for a tech. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Been some really close racing here. We see Paul Woosley there on lane turning up 31 laps. Best lap of a 3.30. Like I said, look at that. Literally 8,000 of a second different, or 2,000 second different from him and Randy Kirtley. Best lap. Their median's dead on 3.39, 3.39, and they are relatively very, very similar when it comes to the location where they are on the track. See a dive bomb move there done by Paul Woosley on Jay Latham there, coming around the horseshoe portion of the track. Jay Latham popping off there as we see Bruce Bullington quickly getting him put back on with a nice slap throw. Rest of the guys here, we see Glenn Burden there, involved in a little bit of it there between Jay Latham and horseshoe. David Horton being able to get him put on there really quick. are halfway through, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Glenn Burton coming off there on purple lane. His nose having a little bit of an issue there. Oh, something weird happened there. We see Glenn Burton's car do like a 360 there on the horseshoe. Something. I don't know what's going on with Glenn Burton's car there, but it did a full 360 there, folks. He's going to take a look at his car. I'm sure he's not pleased with what's happening with the car, but nonetheless, something. He's going to take a quick look at it and see if he can get her figured out. Before that happened, he was running quite well. He was about a lap different from everybody else. We get a squeal happening there. We see Caramel Sire's car having an issue. Flag call there. Like Glenn Burton's coming back to hook up. Sweating it, folks. Bounce, choke, out. So hot. No airflow coming in. Still room in here. So Guillermo, my wife's coming over here, waving, maggots. What kind of wife I got, folks? Got a wife like that? I hope you. Now I got my cousin, Action Jackson. That's it. Two good. Two of them. Two magazines. Bruce Bullington rolling down. No, Bruce Bullington rolling down the purple lane there. Tim Burton was having some there. Horseshoe. Got to figure it out, man. Out of Action Jackson. Job here. You got some long pin blows over here. Magazine. I feel like I must be famous over here. What do they call that? Royalty. Feel like royalty, like they calmly waved over here from my cousin. I hope you guys got cousins like that. How many cousins can you actually say would actually calmly blow your face other than Action Jackson? That just goes to show you the character of Action Jackson being good to his cousin. We get a car come completely off the track there as Bruce Bullington gets it. He comes off up above on the donut portion of the track. Ooh, a little bit of altercation. That flips off of the upper portions down on the lower portions below the bridge. Ooh. 3 cars involved in it. Looks like Guillermo Sire and Burton. Guillermo maybe exchanging words there. Yes. Glenn Burton on purple, on yellow. I believe they roughed each other up a smidge. This happens sometimes, folks. I'm telling you, it's a little warm here in Lanes Raceway. That's a scientific fact, folks. When humans get a little bit warmer than normal, they tend to a little more active. I know none of these guys mean fine. They all just having. Sometimes it does get a little colorful. Of course, Guillermo Sire probably not lifting much as he is running lead. Right now, Guillermo Sire running 22 laps. He is in, followed by Tom Payton with 409. Tom Payton's going to come out this time. All right, racers, if you will, please don't go to the pits, but we need to see the cars for weight inspection. Going in. So they're going to bring the cars for a weight inspection. Take you guys on our current numbers, where everybody's located and their averages. Right back with you.
I know.
All right, we're back. All right, racers. Watch your lights. So as you guys know, whenever we do a weight inspection here at Lanes Raceway, we let the guys have enough time to let your cars cool down. We don't want them burning motors every time they come here. About midway through is usually when we do it. They got to meet weight requirement. Everybody's done it this time. We see Tom Payton now. He's in the mix here doing cars. And Tom Payton, folks, look at the ambition of putting these cars back on. Super, super quick when he rolls to get this stuff done. I wish every one of our track marshals were like Tom Payton. Quick as that man moves, get those cars back on. Action Jackson over here to my left, still being my biggest fan, literally. You know, I mean that not by like, you know, he loves my commentating, but he's literally being my fan. He's got a book over here and he's keeping me cool. And I'll tell you what, I feel 100 times better now ever since I've been doing it. Like, he is literally blowing cold air in it. And it feels good. So, thanks to Jackson. I told him he didn't have to do it, but he wanted to. That's the kind of cousins I got. Good men. We're back in it. Guillermo Sire had a little conversation with him. He had another rough purple lane here tonight, folks. I said, you and Dad, Randy Kirtley, who's on purple right now, have the world's worst purple lane. They just never can successfully do a good purple lane. We see Tom Payton here putting a car on. Whoa, did we have a car come off the top? Payton putting the car back up on purple. Did Randy Kirtley have such a horrible purple that he had to put it on top of the bridge? Holy smokes. Nonetheless, we see Paul Woosley there on blue lane coming off. He gets tucked back in there. 15 laps. Paul Woosley out in the lead right now for laps turned. He's fixing to make another one too. Like I said, folks, it just takes one time to wreck and lose so much time. The track call yet again, something. Got a stalled car there on black lane. That's Glenn Burden. Going to have to hike that rear tire up into that groove, and he'll be good to go. Tom Payton knows the deal. Got that tire hiked up in push. Once you hike that tire, it sets those braids in there pretty good. The deep recess is what caused it. Car comes down, tilts it out just enough to where the braids. But if you hike that tire up on there, then the braids lay back flat on the track. So get your little bit of connection, roll on. Guillermo Sire there in horseshoes. He rolls around on orange around the donut portion of the track, trying to reel in some people here. Your current leader, Guillermo Sire, but not leader as for laps turned. That goes to Paul Woosley so far, followed by Randy Kirtley, then Guillermo Sire. David Horton there at 17 laps, followed by Jay Latham Burden. Action Jackson asking where I got the video for the chicane at. Pretty much I just looked up GIF for S-turn chicane, and you can find those all day long. So there's always somebody making a GIF out of something to help better for people to understand what certain things are. I mean, every one of these things are GIFs or things that to help explain. When I say donut, you know where it's at. When I say S-turn, you know where it's at. When I say horseshoe, dead man's corner, ellipse-zone, a lot of these things could probably be like weird language, but with this up there as signs, you know what I'm talking about. So Guillermo coming around the donut there, he rolls around right there neck and neck. On the inside of him is Guillermo, or is Glenn Burden there on black. Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley quick in tow. Paul Woosley actually reeling in Guillermo there around the horseshoe. He's dive bombing down low. Guillermo comes off the lane involving Paul Woosley. Correct.
Get ready.
Will add to another race for Guillermo. Fourth of Jay Latham get put back on white, followed by David Horton there on red lane. I mean, now I've exchanged my hotness of about choking out over here. Jackson, he's running out of breath, folks. I told him, really, man, you ain't got to fan me. But I guess he's getting a workout, getting ready for football season.
Get ready.
For basketball. Jay Latham in second place there, 423 laps. And we get an expired token here. So take me just a second to get that back up. Action Jackson saying he's a personal fan. Now he's fanning himself, folks. Maybe this is where the term fan came from. Maybe it has some kind of deep-rooted thing in how people used to fan royalty. Wouldn't that be weird? Fan and royalty, palm. Maybe that's where the word fan came from. I'd be interested to know where the word fan came from. Wouldn't you like to know, Jackson? Something like that. I know blue, royal blue, royal purple, royal red colors signified sacrifice. Taking bruises, punishment for our sins. Jackson brought me back to real. I was dying over. All right, man. Right here. Back up. Like a little blow dry. Constant on full blast. They'll take dude's at 9590 Hawaii chipset. That thing runs 90 degrees Celsius. Brutal. And it can, like, a CPU that can run that blows me away. 90 degrees Celsius, folks, not Fahrenheit. Randy is currently in fourth place right now, Jackson. 315 laps. Guillermo Sires in first place with 480. He's got this one and one more, and he's going to have to set out 3 heats. Guillermo's not doing bad. So in other words, he'll set out, and then he'll have to come in for more heat race. Round robin 6 and 11. Jay Latham's going to be coming out this time. He's currently ran 430 total laps. Glenn Burden there with 305 there on black lane. Go from black to yellow, from yellow to... Yeah, it ain't going bad. You know, we started right at 5:30. Here it is 6:30, and we're already almost halfway through. I know you. Full house. That might be a different. That might be a different song. Is that Full House's theme? That might be Family. It's a rare condition. That is. That's Family Matters. That's Family Matters. I don't know. I watched so many of the 90s shows back in the day, Jackson. They all kind of like sounded. To be honest, man, we probably looked it up. Probably the same guy, man. Song. Carl Winslow. You know Carl Winslow? Dude, he's this guy from the 90s. Like everything he ever played, always a top. Like, who's the guy? Every time. He was Two-Face Batman. Not the latest Batman cartoon. But he was always top too. Certain all they cop. Kind of like Chuck Norris, he always. I've always like been a fan of like steel guitar. I love that. I do like a saxophone too, man. Especially when like listening. That's all right, folks. After that heat, we see Guillermo Sire out in the lead corner of the 96 laps, followed by Jay Latham. Jay's going off this time. So far, Guillermo running the best black lane, second best purple, or third best purple. Randy Kirtley running the best purple. Guillermo running the best blue lane too at 7 total laps. 80, man, very respectful. 80, 84, 84, 84, 84. But these are the guys that are going to most success here today. Highest averages, of course, 87, 88 of Tom, 83. Kirtley Boozley, a staggering score. He's coming to show business. This up, car under control. He bring it home. Stick around with us. We'll be back in about a minute, 5 seconds.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds. Get ready.
All right, 4 red lights. We'll drop out to a green and go back green race, and we can see Guillermo Sire there come to a stop at the horseshoe as he comes around through Jonah. Right? See how well he can keep it in for his last time in, as we will see him come out after this heat, and he's going to have about 3 heats he's going to have to set out. So he'll set out 8, 9, and 10 and come back in on the 11th and final round. Glenn Burden there now currently in second place there on yellow with 375 is Jay Latham coming out off of White Lane from last heat. He's going to help track marshal here. And Tom Payton's going to move over to be the man on the button. So far, nice smooth racing here as we see a little bit of a battle starting to take place here between Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley. Paul Woosley driving it deep there on purple. Randy Kirtley there to the outside of him on black. So this is probably where we'll see most of the action here, is who will hold the resolve of this race and cars on black and purple. So we see Paul Woosley dive bombing Randy yet again right there off the gate. He's coming around the outside, both of them side by side. Paul Woosley going to get the advantage as Randy Kirtley pulls his position and sets behind Paul Woosley. Trying his best to keep up with Paul, but Paul seems to be running away with this as he's been practicing the past couple of nights, and his rhythm has gotten a whole lot better here in the past week. Randy Kirtley just can't seem to hang with him right now. All Paul really has to do is just run that pace, and he will be successful this heat. But if he pushes it too hard, of course, Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley are right there on that threaded line of about as fast as these cars will go. We see Paul Woosley coming into a little bit of traffic, narrowly coming around. Randy Kirtley with an expert reaction time there, seeing that car on the backstretch, letting off to keep from plowing Bruce Bullington. That's what separates those that are extremely good versus those that are really being able to keep an eye on the car while also keeping an eye in front of the car. Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley about 7 or 8 car lengths difference from each other after that instant place there. But Randy Kirtley holding his own there on black lane. Paul Woosley kind of just running a nice pace lap there currently, a little bit faster than Randy just to keep him off of the toes, and gets a good coast through the S-turns. See the blue and pink car come to a rest right in front of Tom Payton. Tom Payton getting Guillermo's tire put back on white lane there in the horseshoe, as Guillermo's going to try his best to get as many laps as he can right now, turning 27 total laps. But front runners, like I said, Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley running immaculately here with 32 laps respectively. Randy Kirtley now losing a little bit more as he's almost about a half of a lap down now to Paul Woosley. This could be an indication of whether the braids are wearing out on his car, tires getting a little too small, dragging too much chassis, or it just could be the more relative, him just losing that motor power and brushes starting to come to an end for Randy Kirtley's car. Usually the guys, when they run, they're neck and neck with each other. And of course, Paul Woosley, I think this might be his second race on this car. And so his brushes are perfect right now. And we can see that by how fast this car is moving. We got a stalled car of David Horton there, in the upper high banks portion of the track there, the red and white Hardys there. Needs just a little bit of a tilt up there, and we're going to see Jay Lathan that, put him that, so take off. In front of him, we got Guillermo Steyer. Both these guys should be able to take off fairly easy as we continue on racing. But bringing our attention back to Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley, now Paul Woosley increased his speed by a complete half lap. Now we see Tom Payton there helping get the cars put back on. Jay Latham back in position there on the back side of the donut. Both of these guys track marshalling great. Guillermo Steyer making a dive bomb brush there in front of David Horton. Was able to keep that successful. Back on purple lane there, we see Paul Woosley really rushing as he might be able to reel Randy Kirtley for another lap out of this as he's running a really, really good purple lane. We can see that he's about 16 car lengths different. Well, moved it to about 7 car lengths now as Randy Kirtley was into a little bit of traffic. Now Paul Woosley going to have to go through that same traffic. He's going to have to go on the inside as Glenn Burton allows him to go on by. And now it's official, a race between Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley here around the donut portion of the track. It's getting very heated up this round robin 7 of 11. We see Paul Woosley now in tow about 9 or 10 car lengths. It's kind of dropped back a little bit, not putting as much pressure on Randy as it was before. We can see that it's give and take, back and forth. He's just waiting on Randy to flip up a little bit to be able to pull ahead. But this could be all a masterful plan by Randy to wait for him to sneak on by to maybe give him just a bit of a love nudge to let him know he's still there. If that takes place, he could easily get that lap back. So Paul Woosley might be playing it back a little bit as kind of like a chess match here to not pick the bee's nest in a sense. So we can see he's got him now within about 4 to 5 car lengths here. Paul Woosley's car is definitely handling quite a bit better than Randy's right now. And we can see he's gaining right at a quarter of a car length per lap as they come back into that traffic with Glenn Burton. Glenn Burton allowing a pass by. Oh, as he narrowly misses that wreck through the S-turns. Actually getting grazed just a hair by Guillermo Steyer's orange car off a white lane. But he was able to make it through. Now him and Randy have ended that car depth by about 10 car lengths now. And Paul's going to have to make that time up. Randy Kirtley's still putting in impressive pace laps as both of these guys keep their cars on. They're running in tow with one another. Neither one of them giving an inch. But we can say for sure that Paul Woosley has gained a lap this heat on Randy Kirtley. But that's what it takes to win, folks. You have to keep your car on the whole heat long. And these guys have done it. And I mean, we got 24 seconds. I'm not going to say for sure that they've done it, but it's very, very close. Right there could have solved it right there, but we see Jay Latham get the car put back on quickly. But he did actually get a little bit of body slap there as he makes that pass on Glenn Burton yet again, going through the S portion turns of the track. Oh, as we see Randy Kirtley coming off, and Randy coming off actually causing Paul Woosley to come off. Tom Payton giving it his best given effort to get Randy on. He actually had Randy on, or he thought he had him on first. He didn't, moved and got Paul on, and then he tried to get Randy on again, pop back off. Just bad series. We do know for sure that Tom Payton gave it and after that heat, all the way bowling down to the very last few seconds before either one of them wrecked, we can see that Randy Kirtley running 87 to Paul Woosley 88 purple. What a heat for Paul Woosley, 88 total laps. Be back with you here in about a minute and 40 seconds.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds. Get ready.
All right, 4 red lights are going to drop out to green. We're going green racing. And here we go, back in the mix again. Will we see what we just seen there? Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley battling it out, yellow and black. The yellow flag there as the car comes off on the back stretch. Quick hands by Tom Payton as the orange lane Burden gets back in are currently now. Yarmul Sires coming out for his 3 heat. Yes. Tom Payton coming back in this next go. Kirtley there on yellow as he goes to make a pass. Get under the bridge movement there. Yellow flag by Payton. Randy Kirtley comes to rest there at the S portion of the track. like Randy Kirtley trying to reel in Paul Woosley there on black lane. Paul Woosley passing David Horton there on the S portion of the track. We see a full side drift there on the green lane by Bruce Boynton, but he was able to save it and bring it back home. But Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley, neither one of them giving an inch. Paul Woosley kind of currently out in the lead there on black. Randy Kirtley about 13 car lengths behind him. Randy Kirtley comes into a little bit of traffic there with Bruce Boynton and Glenn Burden. Randy Kirtley makes the pass on Glenn Burden. Paul Woosley now coming into a smidge bit of traffic there with David Horton and Bruce Boynton. I did talk to Bruce Boynton at the break, and he hasn't yet put the Falcon motor in, but this is going to be his last race on his Eagle motor set. Of course, Bruce Boynton and Glenn Burden there was neck and neck there through the donut portion. Randy Kirtley makes the pass on the outside. Right below him, though, we see Paul Woosley now reeling in Randy Kirtley. So Paul Woosley really is diving her deep. Like I said, it could boil down to just simply, two cars coming off. Paul Woosley making himself right in front of Randy Kirtley as Jay Latham quickly gets 3 cars put back on. One of those was Randy Kirtley. So Paul Woosley holding his resolve here tonight, as that practice past week has definitely paid off for him. Paul Woosley having an exceptional race here, folks. If we continue this way, Paul Woosley could be racing for the bout, folks, between him and Randy Kirtley, as he is definitely starting to put a little bit of pressure on him. So whether or not Randy takes this as a mark, a testament to Paul Woosley not taking things for granted, we'll see. But right now, Paul Woosley is really showing what he came for. Randy Kirtley keeping him within about 6 car lengths there as they round around the donut right now. And we can see the yellow car, Bruce Boynton, right behind Randy Kirtley. But both of these guys are kind of stepping out on their own here as they go to pass the inside there of David Horton. Randy Kirtley's going to be a little bit closer to David as he goes to try to make the pass. Of course, slows him down just a smidge, causing an incident there. Jay Latham actually just touching him a little bit with Bruce Boynton's car. This puts Randy down about a half of a lap or so, giving another chance for Paul Woosley to get another lap on him. Things working out for Paul Woosley, of course, there on that black lane. As we can see right now, Paul Woosley turning 55 laps to Randy's 52, gaining about 3 laps there, respectively. Paul Woosley in the zone would be an understatement currently, as we see Bruce Boynton getting involved in, I believe, David Horton and Burden. There, what'd you do, Action Jackson? Watermelon candy. I'm listening. One piece of dog food for 2 candy. Please tell me. Wow. I would say it probably ain't. You got your 2 pieces of watermelon.
Yeah.
Whew, sweet mercy. Did too?
Yeah,
So Dalton did the same thing. These kids are candy fiends, folks. Be eating dog food for candy. Whew, sweet mercy. They said it was worth it, though, so more power to them, I suppose. Paul Woosley out in front of Randy Kirtley, gaining right at another lap there. So see if he can make another one up. Randy Kirtley getting involved in a couple incidents. Like I said, folks, it all boils down to the wrecks. These thousandths and hundredths of a second mean nothing. What means something is keeping your car on in the midst of danger and destruction. And that danger and destruction comes in the cost of other people wrecking in your lane and you not paying attention. But as we can see, Paul Woosley running pretty good. I'm hearing a little bit of gear slap on one of the cars. Could be David Horton or Randy Kirtley. One of them's getting a little loose. Sounds funny. Got 10 seconds left. Paul Woosley has yet to wreck this heat. And that's what it takes, folks. To get those wins, you got to never wreck. There we go. Paul Woosley's going to finish that up with 89 laps, one away from the record. What a race Paul is having here tonight. 89 total laps on black. His average moving 85.8. Randy Kirtley's 84.7. 82. Guillermo. Just in respect here, I'll keep this up. He will bring home that number place. Tom Payton, though, out, folks, 81.8. He's been running the uppers all the way up to Black Lane. He had some issues there in Black Lane to cause him 70. But if the 90 out of here, that's easily made up. And he can be back in the 2. Everybody runs exceptional tonight. Even guys running on the lower side of things are still in the 70s. So, first started, of course, a lot of people 60. So, here we go. Round robin 8 of 11. Take you guys over and watch a little bit of pinball stuff.
Welcome, my name is Abraham, and here I'm gonna explain to you pinball skills in depth. Aiming and shooting, the basic. Welcome, my name is Abraham, and here I'm gonna explain to you pinball skills in depth. Microflip skill set. Microflips are done by releasing and pushing the flipper button very quickly, and they are mainly used to keep the ball under control. In combination with other techniques, the full potential of microflips can be achieved, which I will explain to you now. Flick pass. If a rolling ball is too slow for a ski pass, you can use a microflip to pass the ball to the other side. When the ball comes down the in-lane, you can also take away its momentum by hitting it with the base of the flipper and set up a more precise pass. Stopping the ball. If you don't want to transfer the rolling ball, you can also stop it with the help of a microflip. It's done like a flick pass, just earlier. This is especially useful during multi-ball, because you can cradle up and think about your next shot. Be aware of the ball jumping back to the in-lane, because making contact with the metal causes the ball to accelerate towards the middle. Setting up your backflips. Microflipping a cradled ball can set up backflips which can hit targets from an extreme angle. This wouldn't be possible with common backhanded shots from a cradle. You can practice your microflip skills by starting from a position where the ball is trapped. Combine all three techniques with the goal to regain ball control. Those techniques are mostly affected by game steepness, flipper angle and flipper rubbers. Good luck! Please leave a comment if you have any further questions or requests. If you wish to support this project, you can do so in the description down below.
All right, we're back, folks. Talking with Guillermo. He's having a little bit of issue. I said he broke a wire, lead wire. You know how it is. Racing sometimes can be very, very drastic a lot of the times. But nonetheless, you know, he's in good spirits, and he'll come back stronger next time for sure. He's still got one more heat left to roll in this mess, and we can see there Jay Latham supposed to be on the button, but we got Guillermo on the button, no big deal. Jay Latham's going to be coming in next heat. But back to the battle at hand, Randy Kirtley, Paul Woosley. Paul Woosley running exceptional tonight. Bruce Bulletin now running. David Horton also. So all three of these guys running pretty good. Get a wreck there. Like Jay Latham quickly getting somebody put back on. Something's underneath the bridge. All right, I don't know what's going on here, but I heard Randy say something there in the mist. See Randy Kirtley there on orange lane, currently turning 3.2, but Paul Woosley turning a 3.255. When you're running a 3.2 race, you are front runner, sure. And we can see Paul Woosley doing that. It goes to make a pass here on the horseshoe of David Horton. David Horton runs 7, so he should be able to make this pass on the back. And he does so, and he does mount making donut portion of 2 people involved in a wreck here at the purple and black lane. On black lane, we have Glenn Burden, or on the white lane. Guillermo going to make a roll here for Burden as he's got a rolled up braid there. Sometimes the drivers drive it a little too deep and roll the braid there. So Glenn drove her just a hair deep there, causing it hard to roll out. Rolled back down. Each one of our racers, of course, need to definitely tell the track marshal that to clear lanes as good as possible. If they don't, they're just going to roll out every heat. That's just how it is. Nonetheless, Randy Kirtley 17 laps. Paul Woosley, exceptional, 22 laps turned there on yellow. Almost like Randy Kirtley's car, just about had all at once. We see Paul Woosley there going to make a pass on the outside of Bruce Bullington. Bruce Bullington kind of letting him go through the S turn. Very risky maneuver there, but he does so, and he does it with skill. And we can see that he's trying his best to reel in Randy yet again. Randy Kirtley about 13 car lengths different from him as he passes Bruce Bullington. Bruce Bullington going to the outside as Randy Kirtley and Paul Woosley and Bruce Bullington all get involved in there. In front of them, though, we have David Horton there on yellow lane, needing to be moved back to purple lane. Go back green racing. Fires patiently waiting. Get some more cars. The way the track is glued up tonight, I think everybody's looking a lot harder. Especially it seems to be Paul Woosley running the new huge hub tires and wheel setup on his car, bought here at Lanes Raceway. The carbon hubs are from Mid-America, and they're called big boy hubs or something like that, but nonetheless less rubber, so they're not going to last as long, but they do handle a lot better. They will not accept a bunch of horizontal or vertical manipulation, so if there's bumps in the track or something like that, it does unseat the car. But as long as the track is flat, which ours has been here recently. Oh, as we get a hard nuzzle there between Paul Woosley and Bruce Bullington going into the high banks together. Paul Woosley stepping out just a smidge, giving Bruce Bullington a high bank hit. When that happens, folks, usually puts a little bit of a car. Jay Latham trying his best to get in Glenn Burton put back on. We know that there's shark blood in vein Paul Woosley tonight. He's on the hunt. He is ready to make his place known that he is coming for first place, whether people like it or not. Stranded out up on top, Tom Payton there on red lane, as we see Jay Latham casually over there in feet shorts, go to get him lined back out. Tuck that car up on the lane and go back green. Fire coming around, somebody's off on, put back on real quick. Oh, that's banging my door, folks. I think it's excitement, ready to race, and got ants in their pants. Fire quickly going button there. Got a car in his hand. Whose car that is, I cannot tell currently. Jay Latham to come off under the bridge. That car is Bruce Bullington, the one that took the big high banks hit there. And I believe that that is possible cause of. Now that was caused by Paul Woosley, but it was not intentional. Guys, when you are risking it, wanting to run side by side with somebody in a high bank, this happens sometimes. Sometimes you, like 99% of the time, I'd say probably more like 90%, you can run in there side by side and it happen. But there is that 10% time to get unseated a little bit. Air just messes with them a bit and end up getting chunked out there to the outside. Like I said, every racer gets 30 seconds. That Guillermo Sire is on the clock right now. He is keeping an eye on that 30 seconds. Respect Guillermo for that. Knowing the rules, 30 seconds, folks. That's what. And like Bruce, maybe opting to plug his controller. I don't know what he's doing. Oh no, we're going green racing. So I guess he's going to get that baby back on there, and we're going to be rolling. No, here comes Bruce. He did it. So Bruce having some trouble there with the Shelby Cobra tonight. Of course, rough racing is hard racing. Hard racing is good racing. So. You know, Bruce would also agree with that. Sometimes it's rough, you know, you get put out sometimes. When you're racing with these guys, nobody wants to lift. Why do they not want to lift? They want that victory. They want to be known as best here at Lanes Raceway. Can't argue with that. Everybody wants in front of that victory lane. Everybody wants in front of that podium. So, you know, there's only room for one winner. These guys, I hate to say it, have to be a little cutthroat to get there. But we do enjoy their effort for sure. Bruce Bullington's been there before. and Paul Woosley wants to make a return visit himself. He's been there several times himself. We see him reeling in Randy Kirtley yet again here as he comes to make a pass here on David Horton through the horseshoe, and he makes the pass coming around the high banks. Now he has got Randy Kirtley in his sights. Randy Kirtley again as he comes through the donut, round and about, and he's making a slap here through the donut. He's got Randy Kirtley within 2 car lengths, pushing a little hard. We'll see if he can stick it, and he sticks it, and he makes the pass there on the back stretch. Can he hold it? And he does. Randy Kirtley backing off to try to calm the pace down a little bit so both of them stay on, and he's doing so. Randy Kirtley's car kind of dudding out on him, folks. He's not being able to keep up with Paul Woosley. Paul Woosley on another level tonight. A man on a mission, a flaming car for sure, is that pink and blue, hyper blue car makes his rounds. Passing David Horton in. Now he's going to pass what seems to be Bruce Bullington back in the mix. He's going to make a pass on Bruce Bullington here on the outside. Very risky. Call that the cold triple, folks. He makes that pass around the donut, right through the back stretch and front stretch, rolling around. Paul Woosley in no man's land. He's by himself, folks. Literally tonight, Paul Woosley stop. 26 seconds left to go. Glenn Burden, your current leader, is just now marking 600 laps there on white as he goes to try to make a pass on Tom Payton, and he's dive bombing down low there on white. Tom Payton about 3 car lengths in front of him as he gets caught up, him and Tom both. Tom Payton's car stepping out there in the donut as Glenn Burden hits the side of his car, and they both come to a stop. Paul Woosley currently with 86 total laps, followed by Randy Kirtley with 80. Made laps on Randy Kirtley here this heat alone, and he's looking to get more. So we see him there on yellow lane, fixing to pass David Horton. David Horton giving him a kind pass gesture. Does it again. That's another perfect heat for Paul Woosley, just 1 lap shy, yet again, of a perfect run here at Lanes Raceway. That's another 89. All right, I'm being told that our coffee is no good by Dalton. Told me it was no good, folks. It's free. Keurig coffee, I mean, I don't know. The only coffee I've ever really drunk was Folgers. I mean, it's okay. Coffee. Coffee's coffee. Glenn Burden there, 605, currently your leader, followed by Randy Kirtley, 590. Guillermo Sire, 577, 518 to Paul Woosley, making a climb, folks. 86.3, his average. Untouched laps above Randy Kirtley, the guy that people thought was untouchable. Like Paul Woosley getting a touch there tonight. And we are seeing very, very big things here. More people in the 80s tonight than are not 80. So, minute and 45 seconds left to go before we go back green racing. I'm going to leave you guys with the current standings. Be right back with you.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
All right, we're back. 3 seconds. Well, actually, we're going to start seeing those red lights. I'm a little behind the times. Round robin 10 of 11, folks. We are getting through this race well tonight. We first one to take a look. there. But first one up on top, white flag, white lane, he'll be coming off this heat. And he will have the laps beat.
Get ready.
On orange lane. Comes around, rushing with that car, folks. Car stepping out there a little bit on white lane. Steve and Burden having a lot of trouble getting that car back on. White lane is Randy Kirtley. Randy Kirtley definitely not needing that to happen. But Paul Woosley was able to make him a couple laps there up on Randy Kirtley. Currently, Paul Woosley and Tom Payton on the same amount of laps. Tom just a little bit ahead. Paul Woosley. I believe the car that's involved in that incident is Tom Payton. So now we're going to see Paul Woosley actually take that, be a little bit ahead. See what be another car. Jay Latham getting tossed to the outside as Randy Kirtley goes through the high banks with him. And they get in contact again. There's that 10% high banks hit, baby. The high banks hit, definitely not something you want to happen. But when it happens, it is loud. Jay Latham will be all right. I've seen axles bend off of it. I've actually seen an axle break. Me and Guillermo one time got hit up in a high banks hit, and both of us tangled up. He ended up taking the victory because his car was closer to the start-finish line than mine. So high banks hit, definitely something on the orange track here at Lance Raceway. Car coming off to the side, that's Randy Kirtley's car. Might be an issue. High banks hit between him and Jay Latham earlier, causing his car to step off there on white lane. Or it could just be because he was aggressive coming out of the horseshoe. Means that he landed right there at the blip station. Definitely not the case. But nonetheless, we see Paul Woosley there, his purple or pink and blue car, rushing as hard as he can to try to catch car Tom Payton. Tom Payton right there in front of him does now have currently a lap above Tom Payton here today. That's because Tom wrecked up underneath. So we got Tim Burden, car of Jay Latham there. Exit of the high banks there. Last detriment, I suppose you could say, from those red lanes. They have pass on the inside. We're seeing it, and he makes a nice pass. Randy Kirtley made that pass on Jay Latham there on the inside. And like there in the horseshoe, see our current average leader, Paul Woosley, now currently in second place. 24 total laps. He's really pushing to make that 90. Right there, folks. Right there. That car's running perfect. Oh, is he finally wrecked? Tim Burton taking his time to get that baby put back on. Bats on it, gets it back on there. Oh, we got a sidewinder here of David Horton. He gets put back on. Paul Woosley coming off yet again there on orange one. Paul Woosley needs to either slow it down or there's an issue in the track or something. Paul Woosley now tied back up yet again with Tom Payton. 3 minutes left to go in this heat. Sometimes it's best when it happens, it's time to calm the nerves, step back a little bit, just take the donut a little bit slower. As you know, there could be an issue there. Just take it a little bit slower. You got 3 laps up on first place right now. Running maybe a lap or so less than what other individual run is not going to affect your average being 2 laps higher than. So therefore, it might just be better to kind of calm it down and push for that 90 times. There may be issues on the track. Right now, it looks like Paul Williams has done so as he is running a nice, clean lap here. Orange goes to make that pass. He make that pass on Randy Kirtley there on white, and he's coming right up there next to him. Looks like he's going to be able to make it this heat, and he does. He makes a pass there on the inside, running nice and clean. Randy Kirtley flipping out there on white, trying to push his car. Kirtley tires last week, and it looks like possibly no contest. They have to be able to keep up. nonetheless. Randy's still holding his own with busted tires for sure, but motor also being, not to mention catching crash at the race. Randy, of course, on the race season long, had great race, hardly any incidents. That still continues tonight. This is actually a incident and quite a few. And it could be the excitement. He's planning on having himself a nice vacation sometime in the next couple weeks. So he might be thinking about vacation coming. Who knows?
Get ready.
Right now he has 100 total laps, minute and 50 seconds left to go. Our current leader lap turns wise is Paul Woosley. Laps, Tom Payton 5. Randy Kirtley there in third with David Horton fourth, 2. Jay Latham 47. Bruce Thornton. Right. Action Jackson. I love it. Action Jackson tattooing his tires here today, folks. He's got Action on one tire and Jackson on the other. As he's getting ready for the next upcoming race, Rookie Rumble, coming up shortly right after we get done with this one. Sam? All right, cool. So we got a new racer. Plays. All right, as we can see now, Paul Woosley yet trying to get another bite at Randy Kirtley. Randy Kirtley dive bombing deep on Jay Latham. Keep that from happening. And he's right on his toes yet again. Pulling right behind him, giving it what he can give to stay ahead of Paul Woosley, making this race even more and more interesting. It almost seems like all we've talked about tonight is the race between Paul Woosley and Randy Kirtley, but it's been so long since Randy has had direct competition in the series. I don't know what else we should be talking about other than as we see Paul Woosley putting in the effort the past month, trying to get his car just that perfect, running some experiments, different types of guide wires, other stuff. Like tonight, all that has paid off. So hard work definitely does pay off. As round robin 10 of 11, Paul Woosley, 6:05 tied with Burden's done race. And Paul Woosley still has another heat yet to go. That heat there was Paul Woosley turning 87. Very, very respectful. The highest today on orange. And believe it or not, folks, he even had some mess up where he come out twice, still holding it. So this will be his last opportunity here to catch Randy. Randy at 673. Paul Woosley 605. If he runs in 80, he's going to bring home a first place here tonight, followed by Randy Kirtley. His average is exceptionally higher than 86.4 to Randy's 84.1. Glenn Burden 75.6. Guillermo Sires 82.4. Tom Payton's 81.4. 76.1. David Horton. Minute and 44 seconds left to go, and we'll be right back with you. And leave you with tonight pinball standing.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds.
right. Here we go, folks. Last of the night. Starts out with a yellow flag. Bruce car coming off the black lane. David Horton's yellow. Stay tuned right here afterwards. We're gonna do about a 5-minute or so intermission. I gotta, get some stuff accomplished, and then we're gonna jump right into the rookie rumble race on the oval. That's our adult class for rumble. $10 to enter rumble series, whether you are an adult or a kid. If you are a kid though, when you enter in the little rumble for $10, you get a race for free for the little rumble. But also, it automatically enters you into rookie. So all you have to do is pay the $8 race after you've entered. If you don't enter, you still enter the races, but your points will not count. Just a riser. My wife was asking about it a while ago, so I just told her. Very good deal, really. Right now, much racing. Back starting to hurt, folks. Right now, Paul Woosley, your leader, but not your current lap leader. Your current lap leader is Guillermo Steyer back in on red lane and give it all he can. Tom Payton right there, heel and toe with Guillermo Steyer there on blue lane. I just don't see many of them catching. David Horton really coming out of the flanks here. 22 total laps all night long, running pretty consecutive good. I know we haven't talked that much about David Horton here tonight, but David Horton's car handling excellent. Like the Corvette, very, very few incidents taking place with him, and he's running on average with everybody else. 6.525 is the best lap in the 5. David Horton currently races several of our just to have a good old time. He definitely in last is progressive better each time I race. He's got several cars too. So he can have a car to set out. You see the white lane of Paul Woosley. He's able to take off decent. Randy Curley was actually going to help him out and get that up. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. 630 total laps by Paul Woosley here with 2 minutes. So he's got an opportunity to hit that 90 if he really looks it. But we'll see what happens. Tom Payton's car coming off there. And Burton's best he can do. Trying to hit the track, but David Horton put back on. A couple other cars coming off the lane. Median of 3.47 of Paul Woosley. Best lap of 3.381. Being bested time by Guillermo Steyer in 4.1 and 7. Steyer having some early in his race, especially purple. Purple ain't causing quite a bit of it. Tom Payton, he's right there with Guillermo Steyer, almost running identical. 3.8, about second difference between the two, but their median almost matching. 100 second difference. So, like I said, these guys are right up there. The upper portions, half of our field are fighting it out with the other half of our field. So, half of the field's first, second, and third. The other half is fight fourth. So, very something crazy. A lot of these guys spend time on the car trying to get it perfect. Paying off. There on white lane. Tim Burton slapping around the old black lane, yellow car of Bruce Boynton, getting him straightened back up. Paul Woosley currently now your lap leader. Paul Woosley, helping tire out there. Before that tire, putting that tire right in the groove, lets it so that they can take off. Get good connection. Great. It's almost like everybody's rooting for Paul tonight to see if he can take down King Kirtley at least one race. Pretty much all year or all season long, Randy Kirtley's been dominating the LMP Thunder Series. But tonight, Paul Woosley, about halfway through our series. Looks like he's throwing the fist up. He's ready to go to battle. We still have about half of the races left to go here. Paul Woosley there running. I'll go back on. But half of the races, Paul Woosley, Allen running neck and neck with Randy. Right in the speed. Can there be a change of event? Can Paul make up those laps that he lost early on? Take home first place. I don't know. Really depends on it. Make the shot foul tonight in a negative enough way that he works on his car a little bit more to come back fighting, or if he's just lay down and let Paul take it all the way. But Paul Woosley, man, what accolade for him tonight. His car's running perfect, pristine, locked and tight, running super fast, all that work paying off. He's getting battered over there right now in the donut track, but should be of tightness. Tonight is got a minute and 25 seconds. Definitely bringing victory unless he blowed up car, folks. And you know, it's been a long time coming. You know, we've worked on his car past week or so. He's come in, put into practice, done grudge matches. It's like a Cinderella story, except Paul's always been pretty decent racing. So he never was like an underdog per se, but he just couldn't how to get that extra tenth of. I think we worked that out on both of his cars, and now he's getting that tenth of a second. Like, I'm pushing hard, not getting up. Got that controller set up and synced. That baby flying. Past heat definitely detriment. Quite a bit. A couple bangers. What they're currently right now, something. Fire had this car off. Okay. Fire's car off on the headlight. Go back racing. Hopefully tonight I ain't got to fix any LEDs after the Thunder race. I got about 5 or 6 LEDs. All the beating and banging taking. I heard that from him. I know Ken heard it. Car wrecking. 57 seconds. 670 total laps. Back on there, neck and neck. White lane, Jay Latham on green lane. So everybody, Paul Woosley, Guillermo, and Tom right on 75 laps. But right there behind them, David Horton with the Corvette. Maybe a little bit of tweaks here and there, and that baby's running up front too. 74 laps right now. Jay Latham there, 72 laps. His car running actually better than it was last week. Jay was able to get his car in tow quite a bit better. Running blue car versus yellow one. Telling me earlier, the blue car's faster, yellow one handles. So he was rolling all 109 total laps for our final. All Woosley, 80 all across the board here, folks. 84 on white, only bested by Tom Payton. I'll tell you what, 689 laps respectfully climbing, folks. 86.80, certainly 82.6. All right, can I get Paul Woosley, Randy Kirtley, Paul Sire in front of the podium picture? All right, folks, I'm gonna take it over here to our main, and you might see out there saying a couple words there with Paul Woosley. Right back with you.
Paul Woosley
The man that always, when I ask you the question, are you going to take Randy Kirtley out of the equation tonight? I'll always receive the answer, nope, getting last, or something sarcastic. The one time I don't ask you, Paul, maybe I need to just stop asking you. What do you think?
Just, like I say, sunshine down there.
Well, I'll tell you what, that baby was flat in towed tonight. What would you accredit that car for being so fast tonight?
You just learn things around here. Watch and learn.
Learn from the legends. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, folks, I don't know if you know this, but he is representing his wife's guide flag braid here. We call it the Cherokee Twist around here. We do have those for sale here at Lanes Raceway. Also running the Quick Braid, TWP. And interesting to see you running the big boy carbon hubs tonight. Do you think that helped you out?
Yeah, I was skeptical about it, but they handle a lot better. This is one of the best handling cars I ever had. So.
Well, Paul, I'm so excited for you, man. We're about halfway through this series. Are we going to see more of this to come? Is there going to be a all-out, full-fledged battle between maybe the three of you here, Guillermo, Randy, Gabriel Kirtley, even more people?
I hope so. I hope we get the communication going on the track and just talk to each other and just make a good, easy laps around. No real hard battling. Just be courteous. If you're faster, they part the ways, let you go. Just communication is key.
Yeah, blue flag them down a little bit. Well, Paul, I'm excited for you, man. I know I've been with you. We've been messing with this car a little bit the past couple days and weeks. I'm glad to see that baby in victory lane. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Randy Kirtley, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen you in number one position here in the lane on the L&P Thunder Series. Is this a shot to the pride tonight? How do you feel right now that Paul Woosley come out of there and brought this baby home?
He just put the stomping on me. I mean, it's just plain and simple. Just put the stomping on me. It wasn't he won. He just stomped me.
He was not letting up, unrelenting. The dude didn't wreck, but maybe once or twice the whole night, and you know that. Right? Not wrecking once or twice. He had the fishing reel out. He was reeling you in about every 13 or 14 laps. He'd get right up on you. You'd race him pretty tight there for a couple laps, and you finally let him go by. And I started seeing he was doing the intimidation move, where you kind of stay there right behind him, but he wasn't giving an inch tonight. What do you think about that?
Pulling away from him.
Well, are you going to be fixing this car for next week to maybe give him a little bit more of a push, or do you think that you might bring this thing back out and hope it just sticks next week?
No, it's got to have some work done. It's got to have a new set of tires. These guide flags, and the guide flag was hanging up on. Otters couldn't get it put back on. So.
Oh, if the slot car ain't perfectly in good shape, that's laps, and laps means races. Congratulations on second place, and don't forget to get your lane. Guillermo Sire, what a race you had. I know starting out, had a lot of trouble there, and initially speaking there on the purple lane especially. Seems like that purple lane's your Achilles heel.
Doesn't like me, that purple lane. But it wasn't that bad really. What really killed me was the lead wire breaking.
The lead wire.
Beating Randy today, at least. Not Paul. He was unbeatable today. But Randy, I could have had it. Yeah.
Well, the lead wire, I know, see, that's been a problem for Glenn Burden like twice this season. And something I always tell the guys is make sure you trim it.
New wires, I'm going to not use them anymore.
Well, hey, I might advise you to maybe try the Cherokee Twist by Christy Bobby in here. Full, big old long piece of it. That's what Paul Woosley's using. Very flexible. One of them breaks, you got like 3 or 4 more wires hooked up.
Oh, that is good.
And it adds the weight. And it's something a little special that you can only get here at Lanes Raceway. But, yeah, I've been through the same thing, Guillermo. I've gotten into a habit over the years of running like the Colford ultralight braid. Yeah. It's a little thicker than that, but I strip it out after every race and resort her. Yeah. And that never gives me any issue.
This was the first race I used them, so they are just not good.
Now you know. Well, Guillermo, man, I thank you for stopping by and racing with us. Of course, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
I expect you to come back next time. Maybe give these guys a run for their money. I know you usually build a very, very fast car.
Yeah. I have to change this a little bit. I think I have to change the way I put the weight, so that's gonna do. Well, next race no weight. So, but for the other one, yeah, I'm gonna change my car a little bit.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Guillermo. Don't forget to get your picture made in front of Victory Lane. I think T's going to be out here to get y'all's picture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the. Did you get a picture? I've already seen. If you don't mind, go get the first, second, and third place picture. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the lap. She got the picture. We're going to update this probably tonight before we go home. So you'll be able to see that on Facebook and YouTube. And like always, if y'all see any indiscrepancies of the lap times, total laps or anything like that, or our mass off, definitely give us a call, shoot us a message or something like that so we can get that fixed right away. You can see my wife out there right now fixing to get a picture of the top three in front of the podium. And guys, what a race it was. Paul Woosley bringing home the victory. He's been hunting for it all season long. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting other half of the L&P Thunder Series. Remember, next week, no weight required. If you're in the Thunder Series, definitely be here next week, Thursday or Sunday. We're going to let you have the best of one of the other races. So come on in, check that out. We're halfway through. Come back and check out with us. Fixing to start up Rookie Rumble here shortly. This is Donovan Kirtley for the L&P Thunder Series here at Lanes Raceway. Thank you for watching. God bless you.